This is chapter 9, rational exponents. Let's look at the definition. So a to the 1 over n is the nth roots of a. So for example, 100 to the 1/2, it is the square roots of 100. And so it is 10. What about this one? Negative 216 x to the 9th raised to the power of 1/3. The 3 is the index, so it is the cube roots. Okay, so it is the cube roots of negative 216 x to the 9. And so from here, from the negative 216 x to the 9th, we want to say that negative 6 x cubed, okay, because if I take the negative 6 x cube that, I will have the negative 216 x to the 9th. And so the answer is then negative 6 x to the 3rd. Next, the rational exponents now of m over m, actually m over n. Okay, I'm going to focus on this one right here. Okay, so a to the m over n, the n is the index or the roots of a, the m is the power of a. Okay, and so here we have 16, actually 216 to the 2/3. The 3 will be the roots, the 2 will be the power, and so we have the cube roots of 216 raised to the square or to the 2 power. And so from here, the cube root of 216, it is 6, and 6 squared, which then is 36. And so you can see that 216 to the power of 2/3 is 36. What about this one? 1024 x to the 15 raised to the power of 2/5. Again, the 5th will be the 5th root, and the 2 will be the power. And now, what is the 5th root of 1024 x to the 15? That is 4x to the 3rd. Remember that I want to take something to the fifth power, and I will got the 1024 x to the 15, and that is for x to the third. And so if I were to square this, I will get then the 16x to the sixth. Now what about the next one, which is the square root of 98? Okay. Now for this, you have to recall the multiplication property, which is n root of a times the n root of b is the nth root of ab. So I have to split the 92, actually the 98, into two factors. So 49 times 2. Okay, so 98 is equal 49 times 2. And so I can split into two parts. So the square root of 49 and the square root of 2. So let me write this, square root of 49 times the square root of 2. Okay, and so the square root of 49 is 7. The square root of 2 stay the same. And so my answer is then 7 square root of 2. And so square root of 98 is 7 times square root of 2. Next, let's talk about like radicals. These are actually they have the same index and the same radicand. So like this one, I have 3 square root of 2 and 7 square root of 2. They both are square roots and they both are 2. So they have the same radicand, which is the 2, and they both have the roots of the square or second roots. Here we have ab squared as the radicand, and they both have the cube roots, so they have the same index and the same radicand. Now, like radicals are like terms, we can add them. So for example, like if I have say 2x and 5x, these are like terms, so I can just say together is 7x. Okay, so we can play the same thing with the like radicals. So for example, here, if I want to add subtract like this, 9 square root of 3 minus 4 square root of 3. Again, they're both square roots and they both have the 3 as their radicand, so we have a like terms. So I can just say 9 minus 4, which is 5. And so these are like terms, as I said before. So you can think of as 9x minus 4x. So the x is in fact the square root of 3. What about this? 7 square root of 50 plus 6 square root of 32. Now this one, they have a different radicand because 32 is not the same as 50, even though they have the square roots. And so we have to split like we did in this one, okay? The square root of 98. And so we're going to say that, well, 50 is 2 times 25. 32 is 16 times 2. And so I can split the 2 then. I mean the 2 square roots. Okay, so 25 times 50. Actually, 25 times 2. Okay, again, 25 times 2 is 50. 16 times 2 is 32. And so the square root of 25 is 5. The square root of 16 is 4. And now we have 4 times 6. We have 5 times 7. Square root of 2 remains the same. Next, let's multiply the 2. Actually, the 5 times 7 and the 4 times 6. So we have 35 square root of 2 plus 24 square root of 2. And now they do have the same index and the same radicand. And so now we have a like radical. Then we can add them. So 35 plus 24 is 59. And so the answer is then 59 square root of 2.